Hello, hello. Welcome to your soul service astrology, all 13 signs sidereal astrology update for the week commencing the 8th of March 2021. Just a little reminder, I'm Kel Gunther. I'm your soul service astrologer. Also, it's all 13 signs sidereal astrology. What the hell does that mean, Kel? It means where I reference the planets will be where you'll be able to perceive the planets from our beautiful Earth in this modern scientific technological age. The boundaries of the constellations in the astrology that I refer to match up with the astronomical. Now, I learned how to say this word the other day. You'd think I'd know how to say it. Yep, I can't remember how to say it. They match up with the astronomy boundaries. I'm just going to say that. I used to not be able to say the word phenomenon, but I can say that now. So I will get better with the astronomical, the International Astronomical Union's boundaries for the constellations. That's where I will be placing the planets. There's a reason for that, where the whole idea of coming back into connection with our environment, the whole idea about coming back into connection with the natural cycles that we can perceive around us is that we should be really perceiving the ones that we can see. And the ones that we can see from our beautiful planet match up with the astronomical union boundaries and where the planets are. And what we have learnt over the last millions of years since culture and society and astrology and astronomy were born. Okay, so that's enough about the background of astrology and me stumbling over my words. I hope you had a good giggle about that because I feel a little bit embarrassed. But anyway, the astrology, 8th of March. What is happening? All the planets are moving out of Capricorn. No, Saturn and Jupiter are still in Capricorn. Jupiter will be moving out shortly for a period of time and then we'll move back in. Saturn is going to be in Capricorn for the rest of the year and into next year as well. However, with the movement of the personal planets out of Capricorn, it means now that we should have learnt our lesson. We should have stepped into our queen or king vibe and know what it is that we're focusing on, know what it is that we need to consolidate our knowledge and wisdom towards. Perhaps we were put through our paces. Perhaps there was a challenging time where you needed to learn something and you needed to acknowledge and make it conscious and go, oh, that was the thing I needed to learn. But now that time is over, okay? Now, if you haven't learnt, if it's still unconscious, you're not going to know what you don't know. What will happen is an aspect will come along potentially later in the year with Saturn, or potentially a personal aspect like a Saturn return, a Saturn square, or a Saturn opposition, which will show you what is not conscious yet that you need to learn in relation to you stepping into your king and queendom, or vice versa, or both. So now we shift more into Aquarius energy. Now I call this a bit wild and free. So it is a lovely counterpose to what we've just experienced with Saturn and Capricorn. So now, if you've done the work, because Saturn and Capricorn really is about work, discipline, consolidation, taking steps, getting systematic, getting methodical, now you can start to vision, right? You can start to bring in the big ideas. You're not going to follow the big ideas if they're completely off on a tangent from what it is that you've just learned. However, now invite that collaboration with the universe to come in. Now invite the information that you need to fulfill your vision to come in. Now start to share your information with your community and your groups. And now start to take action in relation to any activism, or if you want to make changes, because of course Aquarius is the sign of the rebel. So it's not lost on me that particularly in Australia at the moment, we have a lot of activism and information and light shining on sexual harassment and sexual abuse within our government. Funnily enough, Saturn in Capricorn, Jupiter in Capricorn, shining a light on parts of the system that is not working. And then the troublemaker, Aquarius, or the rebel and the activist and the radical, namely in all the women that are standing up and saying this is not right. We need to put an end to domestic violence. We need to put an end to sexual assault. We need to put an end to the fact that women tend to have a harder time in the workplace, amongst other things. And I'm just coming from my very white privileged position here, not even really understanding what it's like if I was in a minority group. So please keep taking those steps towards the causes that give you passion and what you want to speak out. You know, you want to take action. You want to join the challenge to make the changes. That's what International Women's Day, which is the day I'm speaking on, is calling for us to do. It's taking a challenge to make a change. And so now that we've consolidated our knowledge and our wisdom, and I'm not saying Uranus, Aquarius, because Uranus is associated with Aquarius, you see. Aquarius is calling for us to start making those changes towards our vision, implementing and sharing that knowledge, perhaps being inspirational to motivate others to move. Now, my passion is ecology and the fact that climate change is a symptom of ecological collapse. All the Indigenous owners on all the lands across the world know back before colonialisation, back before the Industrial Revolution, back before even the Stone Age, we were cosmological. We were in connection with our environment. We were one with it, and we have separated ourselves. And that's why we find ourselves in ecological destruction. If you want to come back into alignment with it, if you want to start making changes, one, to yourself and start improving the planet, you've got to come back into alignment with the natural cycles. 13 signs Sidereal Astrology can help with that, amongst other things, of course. All right, so that's basically the overall flavour that's happening this week. There's not too many significant aspects. There are a couple that I'm going to talk about now. So there's a couple of aspects with the moon, but they're just daily aspects. So just take note in particular in relation to Pluto opposite the moon, and then it's Saturn opposite the moon. And this is tomorrow and Wednesday. Oh no, they're conjunct, sorry. Pluto conjunct the moon and Saturn conjunct the moon. So that's really Pluto conjunct the moon is making sure that your ego is not leading the show. And if there's anything left for you to transform in your subconscious, then Tuesday's a great day to do that. Wednesday is a good day to make sure that your feelings and emotions are married to what it is that this one thing that you're consolidating, your wisdom and your knowledge that you're going to bring into this earth realm, getting your feelings and your emotions and your inner scape on board. Thursday, so there's some minor transits. They're sort of only day transits, but the main ones that are happening Thursday, we have Neptune conjunct the Sun, and on Friday, Neptune starts conjuncting Venus. Now, that's within 3 degrees. I use a smaller orb to most other astrologers. I only really want to pinpoint the most important aspects. So Neptune conjunct the Sun in Aquarius is essentially everything I've just been talking about. And what's interesting is when you look at where the planets are positioned at the moment, the majority of them are sitting in Capricorn, Aquarius, and then Pisces. So they're the last, and there's Sagittarius too, because we've got Pluto. So the last 4 constellations of the zodiac, which suggests that we're sort of at the pointy end of this archetypal journey for this generation that we're in. You know, the pandemic has certainly highlighted things for us, but it's instead of it all being about us and our goal-orientated selves, it's us out there, right? But it's also us in here connected out there, behaving and being connected with and remembering what we actually are. And we are the ecology. We are the environment. We are spirit. We are not just some collection of atoms randomly moving through this space. We are here to experience the joy, the bliss, the freedom, the love that this planet can give us. And this aspect coming up this week with Neptune conjunct the Sun and then Neptune conjunct Venus is really asking us to start to acknowledge that we are spirit. And I'll share this with you. You can call spirit another word, God, that you are God, and God is all around you. When I was 15, I had this crazy thought. I was raised as a Catholic. I had this crazy thought. I'm like, why aren't people worshipping the sun, the dirt, the food that we eat, the water, and the air that we breathe? Because if you take any one of those things away, we cease to exist. So the elements, and in particular the sun, if the sun wasn't there, we wouldn't exist. So why aren't we revering them as our gods and goddesses? And the thing is, we used to. It just changed. So, but we're also part of that. We're not separate to it because we created as part of the whole, and we're part of it. And so we too are God. Now, if that word God triggers you as I'm saying it, then go in and sit with it. Because when I say the word God, I'm not talking about some omnipotent overlord. I'm talking about a ubiquitous God or goddess, however you want to refer to it. God has no gender in my vocabulary. However you want to refer to it, it's ubiquitous. It's throughout everything. It's in particles. And it is that deep awe as to how we came to be and what it is we're here to experience this lifetime. And I feel like with all the planets sort of in those later constellations, it's a call. We've had this pandemic. Are they going to listen? Or are they going to separate further? Are we going to separate further? This little virus has come along that we can't even see. It's so very hard to control, cause complete chaos in our lives. Are they going to see the message in that? That we're not separate. We're not separate. And so this week and the next month is really a call, if you want, to really allow yourself to step into your spiritual nature. And I would encourage you to do that because at the end of the week, we have the new moon in Pisces. And it's also going to be very close to the Sun and Venus. The Sun, and Neptune. Neptune and Venus will still be in Aquarius, but then the Sun and the Moon, because of course the new moon is the Sun and the Moon meeting up, will be in Pisces. So it really is this beautiful fusion of I can have a beautiful vision. I can be receiving information from my inspiration and my ideas, and I can be creating things from that, and I can be making changes in my life, and I can also be God, and I can be fully human, which was the reminder from Capricorn, but that we're also fully divine. And the call this week with the new moon is, how do you want to step into your full divineness? What is the one step you can start taking towards it now with this new moon? Do you really want to embrace it? Am I revealing something to you that you've never even heard of? I suspect not. Most people don't follow me if they're not spiritual. So that's really what have I written here? Let's read out what I've written here with the new moon. It's time to honor and own the goddess within you. Gosh, perhaps that word triggers you. If it does, use it, sit with it. The new moon is a call for us to remember what we are. We are life. We are part of life. We are living life. Put down your excuses and start to live your best life. Not full of materialistic junk, full to the brim of all the things that make you feel wealthy. And that connection to your environment, the elements, that viewing of the stars is what allows you to take you into that inspiration and that awe and wonderment. And it's that feeling state that can allow you to experience that I am not just this dense material body that I am in. That's it from me. I'm going to wrap it up there. Otherwise, I'll keep going on and this will turn into a huge rant. So that's it from me. If you do want to work with the celestial energies on a daily basis, and in particular, if you're a spiritual person and you are in business, or if you're in a career and you want to imbue more of your spiritual nature and you just are really intrigued and you love the planets and you want to keep using the planets, then my membership group, which used to be paid, is now free. So if you want to come and join my Facebook group, Sidereal Stars, search it on Facebook, come and find me, or go to my website, kellygunter.com. There is a link there and request to join. It will be officially free from the 1st of April. However, if you've been listening to my YouTube videos all the way through, because this will be the only place I'm mentioning it, feel free to go and ask to be let in and say, I watched you on YouTube and I heard you say I could come in for free, and I'll let you in before the 1st of April when it will be fully free. You'll get the daily celestial energy. So I'm just talking a week download here. You'll get prompts, journal prompts or action prompts or movement prompts, some kind of prompt. You also get the lives. You get at least two monthly lives, a new moon and a full moon. And one of those might be a meditation that I decide to record that is for the group. So please do come and join that if you are interested in 13 sign sidereal astrology and you are definitely interested in drawing the meaning out of the planets that you can observe yourself in the sky around you, then please come and join Sidereal Stars. I would love to have you there. See you later.